Fushiguro です。
Fushiguro君。
仲良くしようね。はい。
Oh, okay. So it happened the next day. Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Mimi and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be reacting to Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Episode 7, Tokyo Number 1 Colony Part 1. Okay. And last episode, Yuji was able to convince Hakari in order for him to join them by calling himself a cog and displaying the passion of a cog. And I still feel a little saddened by the fact that he's characterizing himself as a cog in a machine, you know. But that was that. And then there was also Megumi that was able to outmaneuver, what was her name? Mm, Kirara, right? With her technique and everything. And then at the end of the episode, this character showed up. And then he added a rule to the game, and the rule is that you can get information about other players in the game, and he's looking for Sukuna. So we'll see where that goes. And yeah, that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/feelingmini. And now let's start this episode. And here we go.
Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review.
ここは選ばれたんだ。殺し合いの場にね。残念ながら別に名誉なことではないよ。
Who's speaking? It did not sound like ghetto.
君が望めば目が覚めたら結界の外さ。どうする？ゆっくりだ。外にはもう気の早い連中がいる。釣れるところだった。息子と仲良くしてくれてありがとう。
Huh?
どう見るよ。おかけんとして。
どうって。
Wait, are those the...
いや、それは初耳だ。
Itadori?
What the heck? You know, it wasn't until like I saw the girl and everything, and then thank you for being friends with my son. I'm like, huh? To what am I supposed to know you? The girl, I mean, and what son is he talking about? And then it wasn't until they talked about the occult something. Or he mentioned something about the occult. Then I remember, wait, the very first episode, that club where they were all about the paranormal thing, and that's why Yuji joined the club and everything. I'm like, wait, are these two from that club? So if that's the case, then is he talking about Yuji? And then he's calling him my son? Oh, now that I'm remembering the flashback of Yuji and his parents, and then they showed the mom, and the mom had the stitches above her forehead, and Geto has the stitches. So
で、五条さん封印されたの？
マジです。
とついでのようで悪いが、学長も死んだ。
didn't know that.
大丈夫だ、虎杖。渋谷でじゃない。あの後上とごたついてな。
ならよかったとはなんねえよ。
Well, he just didn't want to feel guilty about it.
にしても世話になった人がことごとく。
Oh.
こんなにへこんだな。ヤックルのケツに矢がぶっ刺さった時以来だ。これはあくまで取引だ。
What do you want?
分かってるか？死滅回遊に型がついたらお前
With your fight club?
呪霊の存在が公になった以上、海底自体は確実なんだろうけど。
えねえに何がわかんだよ。うに頭これ。
俺 全員家当主です。
おいおいおいおい、マジか。二人には悪いが今日一ビビったぜ。問題はその後、ファイトクラブの運営にいかに全員家を関わらせないか。
Oh, don't worry about it. They're all dead.
逃げたな。
伏黒です。
伏黒君、仲良くしようね。
はい。
Oh, okay. So it happened the next day. Okay.
プレイヤーによる死滅回遊へのルール追加が行われました。俺は小金、プレイヤーと死滅回遊をつなぐ窓口さ。
なんか途中からキャラ違くねえか。
今のはプレイヤー虎杖裕二個人についてる窓口として喋ってるぜ。
いや、おかしいだろ。なんで虎杖がもう
Exactly. He didn't enter any colony.
コロニーに侵入して初めてプレイヤーになるはずだろ。虎杖裕二のように呪物を取り込ませた呪物。そいつは実在した人間だよ。1000年以上前の話だけどね。スクナだ。
スクナ？
Ah, okay.
滅回遊への参加が契約に含まれてるのか。でもやっぱりおかしい。スクナの指はお前の意思で取り込んだろ。俺が証人だ。早速小金にプレイヤーの情報を出させてくれ。小金、できる。もともと200点も持ってたのか。どういう意図でのルール追加だ。これで俺たちは人を殺さずに死滅回遊を進められるかもしれない。
あ
小金にした過去の術師も各々思惑があって賢弱と契約しただけで必ずしもモチベーションが高いわけじゃない。点以上持っててルール追加をする気がないやつ、そいつをのして気が回遊を抜けるルールを作らせる。
Angel? Maybe?
まずはネックのルール8を逆手に取る。ルールを追加してプレイヤー間でのポイントの譲渡を可能にする。
Ah, they can avoid that. Okay, makes sense.
できればもう一つ、ポイントを消費して死滅回遊から離脱できるといったルールを追加する。でも非プレイヤーを死滅回遊に引き込む身代わり条件を盛り込めばいけるかもしれません。
確かにな。
封印を解ける天使を探しながらカシモはじめと日車ひろみを狩る。
It's Kajimo that's looking for Yuji.
第二コロニーにいるって言ってたな。
なりは分かってんのか。
見ればわかるそうです。
パンダが東京第2、伏黒君と虎杖が第1。得点だけ見れば一番強い樫本俺がやんのが順当だろう。パンダは鼻が利くから天使探しに注力しろ。
待って、俺と伏黒は別の方がいいかも。少ながま。
うるせえ。
うるせえ。こっちは心配してやってんだろ。
お前それ毎回言うつもりか。めんどくせえ、時間の無駄だ。
喧嘩すんな。
見れたらお前もプレイヤー。それでもお前も中に入るのかい？
ああ、
問題ない。
そう言われましても、誰か来ないことには俺にはどうしようも。あんま舐めてると引き殺すわよ。
The heck? Her hair changed into what?
カシモやヒグルマは過去の術師の可能性が高い。まともな交渉は期待するな。積み木と同じ巻き込まれた現代人の術師ならむしろ積極的に情報交換できると思う。
伏黒恵が死滅回遊へ参加しました。ルールを参照しますか？
いい、必要ない。
Yeah.
行くぞ。
おい、
Is Higuruma the girl? Wait. Why?
の地点にランダムで転送する。死滅回遊のルールにはない結界のルール。
Why?
ビギナー狩り。こいつ硬いな。
Hunter is Hunter.
系のやつはこれでミンチになるのに。
Yeah, he's not that easy to. Somehow I don't think that's Hiru Higuruma.
合流しましょう。簡単に落ちたな。
この女に何しとんねんで。
こっちに聞けばいいか。どこかで。虎杖。
Where have you seen him before?
そっちが襲ってきたんだろう。くそ、想定外のはぐれ方をした。
Yeah.
どうだ、火車という術師を知っているか。
男って女は殴れば何でも言うこと聞くと思ってるよね。
答えろ。
はい。
Ay. What the heck? Ooh, nice.
上を常に取られるのは厄介だと思ったけど、あっちの攻撃手段はプロペラだけ。
Are you sure? I mean, that's if it may be just the only attack that he's showing you so far. He may have something else.
俺を殺すためには近づいてくれ。屋内で迎え撃つ。
スムージーにしたら。
さっきの飛行機女、俺ごとビルをぶち抜く強度がありながら敵さえ届けば勝ち割れる。
拳が砕けたけ。この勝負
No,
俺
they-
の負けじゃ。
教えてあげてもいいけど、私のお願いも聞いてほしいな。
言ってみろ。
私のナイトになって。
分かった、それでいい。
私ってそんなにいじりしろない？
お前の言ってることが本当ならな。
Is she leading him into a trap?
火車って術師のことを聞きたいんだけど。虎杖。
嘘だったらわかるな。俺は虎杖とは違う。自分で100点取ってもいいんだ。
久しぶり。覚えてるか？
No.
誰だ？なんで俺の名前を知ってる？
お前は有名人だから。西中の虎。
あ？
同じ地元の方でしたか。積極的に戦う理由は何だ？
初めからコロニーの中にいたプレイヤーはね、死滅回遊に参加して今日で12日目よ。過去のだ現代のだで考えるのはやめることね。
過去の術師に触発されて、現代の術師も戦闘モードってわけか。
俺はただのパシリだよ。そのうち殺されてたさ。
待て。いい加減どこに向かっているのか教えろ。
そうか。
甘いだ。甘いリン。
着く前にお前が死んだら。
I don't like this. The way they're switching between them two, it feels like they are leading them into some kind of, I don't know, danger.
まあいいわ。ざっくりとなら教えてあげ。火車は
火車は池袋
新宿
にいる。
Ah, are these two? Let me stop this. Don't make me feel sad. Are these two working for Higuruma or not? And if they're not, are clearly one of them or both of them are telling lies. Either the one that's with Yuji is telling the truth or he's lying, and either the one that's with Fushiguro is telling the truth or she's lying. I don't know which one it is. If both of their answers were the same, then I would be like, okay, that's where this person is. But they both said different locations. So one of them is clearly lying, but which one is it? And the other may be telling the truth according to what he thinks is the truth. So I don't know. I somehow feel like Imai, I think is his name. Amai. The boy that's with Yuji, I kind of want to think that he's telling the truth. The fact that he knows who Yuji is from his hometown, unless Yuji did something that pissed him off and he's trying to get back at him, which, with the way Yuji is, the kind of good kid that he is, I don't see him doing that. So I think that maybe he's telling the truth and the girl is lying. But I'm not gonna know until they actually tell us who's lying and who's not. Okay, so they started this episode with Kenjaku talking to this girl, and he was explaining to her the situation that they have this colony here. They're about to be this game, and she has the opportunity to leave before that happens. And as she's leading her out, he tells her, "Thank you for being friends with my son." And like I said, I was confused. Who was he talking about? Until I realized who the girl was. And then I'm okay, he's talking about Yuji, and then they flash Yuji on the screen. And then I remembered the episode where Yuji passed out after Yuta supposedly killed him. And then he had that dream where he saw his grandfather and his father and his mother, and the grandfather was telling the father that the mother is dead, but then the mother showed up and then had the stitches on her forehead. So I'm like, wait, did Kenjaku take over her body at one point? So that would, it will be understandable that, I guess, an essence of the mother is inside Kenjaku now, and she is thanking Sasaki. I think it's her name. Yeah, she's thanking Sasaki for being friends with her son. You know, uh, I guess, or is it more than that? I don't know. So they convinced Kinji, right, to join up with them. They told them that Genjo is still. He's like, oh, really? And then Panda revealed that Yaga is dead as well. And Kadi was like, oh, the people that were nice to me, I guess, are now gone. And he was feeling some kind of way about that. But then again, he's like, okay, he's telling them, okay, I'll join up with you, but you're gonna do something for me. And he wants these regulations that I'm guessing are gonna sort of like legalize his fight club or something or other. I don't know, something along that's it's gonna help his fight club. So that's what he wants. And Fushiguro just straight out tells him that he's the leader of the Zen'in clan now. And we know that it's those three clans that are sort of like at the pinnacle of Jujutsu rules and world. They're the ones that determine those kind of things. So Hakari is thinking, well, if I have the head of the Zen'in clan with me, then it's going to be easier for these regulations that I want to pass, you know. But then he's like, he doesn't want the Zen'in clan to interfere with his fight club. And I'm like, no, don't worry about that because they're dead. But at that particular moment, they weren't actually dead yet. They died the very next day. So while he was thinking that, they were all still alive. All right. I also found it kind of funny when he was like, after they told him that Gojo was sealed and that Yaga's dead, and then they revealed that Fushiguro was the head of the Zen'in clan, and he's like, sorry for the other two, but this news is the most important, is the most shocking to me, or something or other like that. And I was like, really? Okay. Um. So as they were talking about what to do, that's when Kogane showed up and was telling, basically revealed that this Kogane was Yuji's Kogane, and Megumi was like, "How is that possible? He has not entered any colony, so why would he be a player already?" And then that's when they sort of like talked or showed a little bit of a flashback, I guess, of when Kenjaku said that he had made pacts with sorcerers more than 1,000 years ago or something or other like that, and they were considering Sukuna as, well, Yuji was considered Sukuna as a sorcerer that was alive 1,000 years ago that could have made a pact with Kenjaku. So that would mean that he's sort of like automatically part of the Culling Game. But then maybe I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch that scene. Fushiguro mentioned that it didn't make sense that he saw him um like swallowing Sukuna not that long ago or something or other like that. Hmm. I was mm, thinking about that scene. Okay. At first, I thought that Sukuna and Kenjaku made this pact 1,000 years ago before he got, his fingers and everything are sort of like scattered out all over the place. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it makes sense, right? Because Kenjaku came up with this plan way after the 1,000 years ago. After he made the plan, I believe, was it before Gojo was born or after? And then Geto was also, um, I guess, born or whatever. He was also alive, so he started making his plans then about how to seal Gojo and all those things. So if his new plan that includes the calling game, if he only started doing that not that long ago, then he couldn't have made a pact with Sukuna 1,000 years ago to participate in the calling game that he hadn't even thought about yet, you know? So that means that Megumi is thinking that Kenjaku should have made the pact with Sukuna after he was, or after Yuji swallowed the finger. And if that's the case, then when did Sukuna even made a pact with Kenjaku? That he couldn't have had the time to make a pact with Kenjaku in order to pull Yuji into this calling game. So it must be something else. And I'm guessing that that something else is part of Yuji's, who Yuji is himself. The fact that he's connected to Kenjaku one way or the other. Maybe that's what it is, but they don't have time to be thinking about that for now. So yeah, after the Kogane showed up, they were asking this Kogane questions. They wanted to know which players have 100 points or more, and that usually those kind of players are probably sorcerers that have lived like 1,000 years ago or something or other like that. Oh, excuse me. And they're trying to get in contact with these players because they want to have some kind of alliance, I guess, and then ask them to add a rule to the game where if you what was the rule supposed to do? You can transfer points, right? Because not everyone that's gonna be part of the calling game wants to kill people. And then you have that rule where if you don't reach a certain amount of points, or if you don't kill anybody or something or other in a certain amount of time, then they're gonna strike you down. I guess you're gonna die either way. They want to be able to transfer points so that those people are not forced to kill anybody and they don't have to die. So there's that rule, and then I think he wanted to add another rule as well, where so that they can allow people like Sumiki to leave the calling game. But then I think they said something about replacing it with a non-player person or something. But how is that fair? Maybe I misunderstood that part of it. But yeah, there's those two rules that they wanted to add. So they need to join up with these two people. One is the one that added the rule about learning info and all that. I think it's rule 9. Kashimo, Hajime, he's one of them. And then the other one is the Higuruma that Yuji and Fushiguro are going after. And so Higuruma or whatever is in the first colony where they are, and then there's the second colony where I believe Hakari and Panda are going into, and they're saying that this second colony probably has angel in it, and they are gonna try to find this angel. Panda will be focused on finding that person, and I believe Hakari will be focused on Kashimo. I'm not totally sure if Kashimo is in the second colony or the first one. They're probably the second colony, and that's why they separated. I don't know. See, I can't. Well, there's a lot of information, and I'm not able to fully grasp everything in one go. So, in case you have Hajime in the second colony, and then you have Higuruma in the first colony, then you have Yuji and Megumi going after Higuruma over there, and then you have Panda and Hakari going into the second colony. The girl is staying outside. Kirara is staying outside. Panda's gonna be focused on finding Angel, and I guess Hakari is gonna be focused on dealing with Hajime Kashimo. Right? I think I got that right. I may be wrong. Now, Fushiguro and Megumi got into the colony and they got separated like right away. And they were not expecting that. And that was not part of the rules. So it surprised people. And I feel like he did that on purpose. He didn't want people to be prepared. Like if Megumi and Yuji knew in advance that they were going to be separated right from the start, then they would have come up with another plan. They were assuming that they were both going to be together and walking through this colony, but that's not what happened. So they separated, and they got immediately attacked by these sorcerers, I guess, these players, and Yuji defeated the girl like pretty quickly, and then the man also pretty much easily. But then the third one that was on the lookout, Amai, saw Yuji and recognized him and approached him. And then on Megumi's side, you have this girl, I guess she also tried to jump him or something, but it didn't work. And then he's asking her information, and she's like, okay, I'll tell you where Higuruma is, but I want you to be my knight. And he immediately agreed because Megumi is like, the way he's talking to this girl is like, No nonsense kind of talk. Okay. My sister's life is on the line. I don't have time to be dealing with your BS. So just tell me what we need to do, what I need to do for you to tell me where this guy is. And she's leading him along the way, and they're switching between him and Yuji and Amai and the way they were doing it. I'm like, oh no, this feels like a trap on both sides. And then when both of them like told the different answers, it's like, yeah, it's a trap. Yeah. Because if I think the girl said that she was in there for like 12 days. And if she was in there for like 12 days, and I don't remember how long you're supposed to be there and accumulate points. And if you don't, then you're gonna die. I'm trying to remember, but I don't remember. So if she's there for a long time, and she doesn't have enough points, I guess, then she's in danger of getting her technique stripped or whatever and dying. So she might be desperate and leading Megumi into a trap. Now, when it comes to Amai, I'm not sure what his end goal is. I don't know if he has a beef with Yuji that we don't know about, or if he actually admires Yuji. Just the fact that he was this popular middle schooler or something or other, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, the link is going to be in the pinned comment. So you can just click on it and you can watch it right now. And you can also catch up with all my previous Jujutsu Kaisen reactions. There's a playlist in the comment as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. I'm thinking real man, when I see your man, when I see your man, it's